London, man. London Fletcher.
And Commanders family, our free agency special starts right. Fellas, sign.
Just finished up.
Now. Welcome into Command Center, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Brian Cole Jr. here with Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, Logan Paulson, and fellas, the Commanders have been busy this offseason. Initial thoughts on how we've done free agency so far?
Willing and dealing. You know what I mean? No, honestly, man, I love the pickups. I love to see these veteran guys coming in here. And it's one of the things that I've been noticing is just, you know, it's like a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Bringing in, you know, new guys you've seen elsewhere, you know, dominate and play, and now we add them to our team.
What I like is we cherry pick captains. All right, we pick leaders. We brought guys in here that bring a presence to this team. And also, he made the first and the second level almost the same. Like the talent level is there, and I'm psyched about it. That's how you remake a roster right there on the run.
Yeah, for me, it just seems like it's following the plan. It's following the vision, right? We want guys that are good, competitive, tough, smart football players, and they just seem to identify that. They didn't overpay for anybody. They got guys that were cultural fits. And I think the other thing you said about leadership, Fred, getting guys that are leaders that can kind of establish the foundational pieces for your culture moving forward. And I think that's exactly what they need to do in this initial free agency period.
And Logan, the list of guys that we added is vast. We're going to go over that a little bit later in the show. But Logan, who is your favorite free agent signing so far?
I mean, there's a lot of guys I'm really excited about, but the guy that I think is going to be kind of most unique and I'm most excited to kind of see him develop is Jeremy Chin from Carolina. He was such a unique player. He is such a unique player. He's 6'3", 220, can play linebacker, play safety, play that Buffalo nickel role, can cover a tight end, can play the slot. And with a coach and a creative mind like Witt, I just want to see how he utilizes that skill set and maximizing that ability. And again, a physical kind of athletic freak. How does that look here in Washington? Can't wait to find out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Me, myself, Frankie Luvs. And I love the last name. Luvs. Don't it sound like you're a designer shirt here, Fred? Can I have a little bit of that Luvs? At the end of the day, he's a guy that can play inside, outside. And when I say he makes it to the ball carrier with bad intentions, please go watch this man film. Just go watch his film. Watch him pass rush. Watch him tackle. You'll fall in love with this guy, too. I cannot wait to see him swapping that paint.
And then you got to ask me, you know, I tell you I like all the guys. You know, a lot of those guys, you know, raise my eyebrows. But I'm going to be the voice of the fans. Anytime you can go out there and deplete the Dallas Cowboys and go out there and pick from their roster and bring them to us, that's always a plus. And I think, you know, those guys showed us last year and years before that they flew around on defense. And we went out there and got their whole defensive staff, almost all of them. And now we're going out there and getting the players too. So I love the fact that we got a lot of those guys who we saw make plays against us. Now they're on our sides to go out there and play up against them.
And fellas, we didn't just add a ton of talent. We also traded away a quarterback. We gave up Sam Howell, a 4th and a 6th round pick to Seattle to get a 3rd and a 5th round pick. Fellas, how you feeling about that trade? How do you feel we did getting something back for a 5th round guy?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I was a big supporter of Sam. I wanted to see him grow here, you know, have another chance with a different staff. That wasn't the case. And, you know, it's not so bad. But to see that we got this guy as a 5th round and now we giving him away and picking up a 3rd. I mean, he's one of those guys that he did something that I haven't seen done in a while in this league. Come in on the back end and then go out on the front end. So it's great for us to be able to get some fun, but it's also great for Sam to go out there and have a chance and probably play in Seattle.
You know, guys, when I worked on Wall Street, the one thing I was always taught in Wall Street is buy low, sell high. Right? We bought Sam low. We so high. You gotta realize, we literally got a 3rd round pick for him while Justin Fields got a 6th rounder. And that shows you that Seattle actually has a plan for him. Seattle loves him, and I heard they wanted him out of the draft. So I think it's a good job by both sides, Washington and Seattle, and I think Sam set up for success in Washington.
Yeah, I think it's just a great job by Adam Peters. You know, done a great job in this whole process, but I think this is another example of that. Just identifying where there's value, getting that value to a different team and receiving something in return in the draft in terms of draft capital that allow you to make moves in the draft and kind of position yourself to make the best decisions possible for the franchise moving forward. So I think it's a great job by Adam Peters.
And fellas, as Fred alluded to, I
like that.
And as Fred alluded to, there was other quarterbacks that was traded throughout the league. Let's take a look at how those trades stacked up against our Sam Howell to Seattle trade. Now let's take a look at the Steelers. They sent Kenny Pickett in a 2024 4th-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 3rd-round pick and 2 7th-rounders that will be used in the 2025 NFL Draft. Then the Patriots traded Mac Jones to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 6th-round pick. Now look at these in comparison, because with the Commanders trade, they now have 6 picks in the top 100 of this year's draft. Huge to get value for a 5th-round pick, and you gotta feel like that's a win. But the Commanders didn't just win there. They've been winning all free agency. Now, let's take a look at some of the best moments and sounds from free agency so far.
I just know what it takes to get to the point that we all work for every single day. At the end of the day, we play this game to win. You know, we don't play to come out here and be mediocre. We don't play to, you know, we play to have success.
Bring energy, tenacity, grit, dog mentality, and that's the type of game that I'm bringing to the table. And you know, with the guys that we have around, man, I don't doubt that we're gonna make that happen.
Just as far as a playmaker, I'm gonna score some touchdowns for you, that's for sure. If you can get me in the red zone and find a way to give me the ball in some space.
It's just honestly just working hard and get down to it. You know, you just gotta grind. You know, gotta grind and you know your stuff and you know, get in the books.
I called Tress and I was like, listen, bro, like, hey, you want 2 more years? He was like, excuse my language. He was like, no. He's like, you got it done? I was like, yeah, we got it done, man. Heck yeah. And I was like, you know, I couldn't even go like that. Maybe 5? Heck no, man. I had to come back.
Now, let's take a look at the full list of guys we added to our Commanders roster. You see some big names on there. We have former Super Bowl champion Zach Ertz. We get some much needed offensive line depth. We get a running back in Austin Eckler, who has said he is excited to play with Brian Robinson Jr. And we get Marcus Mariota, a savvy veteran at quarterback. Fellas, you see those free agent names. We have had a busy offseason, to say the least. The Commanders got a lot better this free agency. So let's talk about it. This is the free agency frenzy. And Fred, you were excited about the trenches, specifically the offensive line and how we added some starters to that room.
I'm always about the guys, the big guys, the guys that smell like bacon. Think about this. The last time we won a championship here, we had the Hogs on one side and Dexter Manley, Charles Mann on the other one. Established the trenches, and we did that by first getting a center. To be honest, is a starting center in the league that's gonna make it easy for any young quarterback behind him. He can make all the calls. He's been there, done that, and he weakened the Cowboys by removing him and bringing him here. And then you got Nick Allegretti at the guard position. Teaming him up with Sam Cosmi at the other guard. So your inside of your offensive line is strong and it's strengthened, and that's all you can ask for to protect the quarterback right now.
And it's not just a trenches in the offense, Logan, right? It's also a trenches in the defense. We added a lot of depth, especially on that defensive line. How'd you feel about how we did adding that defensive depth?
Yeah, I think they just did such a good job of kind of following the script, you know what I mean? They're kind of understanding what we need to do and who we want our identity to be. So they got Fowler, guy, situational pass rusher. Armstrong, I think, could be a rotational starter. Guy that plays with a lot of juice, a lot of energy. I think when you look at all of the signings, look at the linebacker level, Lulu is an absolute animal when you watch this film. It's so easy to find productive, dynamic plays from him. You know, Jeremy Chin is a guy that, again, is maybe a little bit down in terms of playtime last year, but has been a dynamic player in this league. The thing they all do, they're physical, they're fast, and they love playing ball. And I think it's just nice to get a group of, 6, 7 guys that all kind of embody that mentality that Dan Quinn talked about in his presser.
And Logan, I can't wait to see you break down that film a little more in your film. I know you're excited about these guys. And Tanner, we also added some savvy offensive veterans. We talked about how young this offense was. You talked about bringing in these veterans. How do you feel about the guys we brought into this offensive room?
I mean, speaking of veterans, that's one thing, but I also think when you're talking about the skill set and those skill guys, we had a slew of guys. And now to say that we added and got that much better, man. Mariota as the quarterback, not sure where he's going to be back up, or make him get out there and show a young guy how to be a starter in this league. You have Eckler in the backfield, added to what we can already do in the backfield, that thunder and lightning, with him and D-Rob. And then not only those guys, Ertz at tight end. We don't know how much more he got left in him, but to me, seemed fine last year. So it's just great to see that we added some veteran leadership, but also veteran playmakers on the offensive side.
And we also kept some veterans. We kept Jeremy Reese, we kept Jamison Crowder. How important is that for these guys, right? Because there wasn't a lot of guys that they kept. This coaching staff and this front office said, we believe in these 2 guys. What about them do you feel they said, you know what, we want to keep these guys in?
I think that's big for any guy that's been on a team that gets a new coaching staff. It's hard to stay. It's hard to stay around. I've been a guy that played with 4 new head coaches on this team. So I know what it's like to say, well, I hope this guy likes me enough to be I survive, and be able to come back with this team. But those guys are guys that show you, man, that, regardless of what the circumstances were, they stay true to who they were, and they definitely ball players.
Fellas, a lot of new names, a lot of new bodies in our locker room. And Logan, you know what that means. That means we got to get you in that film room to check out all these guys and see what kind of talent they're bringing to the Commanders.
Let's go check it out. All right, we're talking linebackers, free agent linebackers. We got two guys, two great additions, one old, one new. Let's talk about our guy, Bobby Wagner. Fred, you know a lot about him.
Yes.
Really dynamic guy for a long time. Going to be a Hall of Famer, you think?
Yeah, most definitely a Hall of Famer. First ballot.
And there's some stuff about him that gets you excited. Right here, we got a little stunt. And one thing that I like when I watch Dan Quinn's defense in Dallas is they use these off-ball linebackers to rush the passer. Warner's got the ability to do that. See how he's kind of using this arm across here to attack the guard's outside shoulder, put himself in a good position, pull that through, and end up finishing that play. That's nice, man.
Yeah, he got skinny. But one thing he did, he didn't run away from the guard.
Yeah.
He ran to the guard to leave that gap space for him. Then he gets skinny right now. Now I'm finna go get Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Fred. The guard has to stop his feet because of his angle. Works around, ends up getting a nice play. So that's a skill set that he has. He had 3 sacks last year off of these types of rushes. This is maybe my favorite play because I think it shows what kind of encapsulate him as a player. A little bit more experience, understanding what's going on. So San Francisco, they're going to run this kind of tight zone to the offensive right. And so what this is going to do is going to make Bobby have to move this way, right? But the whole idea of this play is they're going to bring these two pulling tight end back and kick out and wrap and kick. And so what they're doing is they're giving our guy, Trent Williams, who we know really well, an excellent angle to seal Bobby's right shoulder. Right? And that's the best offensive lineman in football right now.
Yes, it is.
And so it's going to take a lot of awareness. So watch Bobby right here. He's going to match the back's feet. He senses the cut back. He senses the flow back. And it allows him to defeat Trent here because of his ability to identify this play. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, it does.
And it's like one of those things, like the more you play, the more you see, the better you can execute it, right?
And no wasted step by Wagner here. Gets in the hole, understands that when the running back stop going to the right, I stop going to the right. When he starts to cut back, I start to cut back. So you're right. He's mimicking every step that he's doing with no wasted steps.
And not only that, he felt Trent coming. He didn't have to turn his head over there and see him. He feels it. And that goes from watching film and just knowing how to play that position the way he does.
And reps, man. Reps. He's got a million of them, man. He was, one of the most productive players in terms of tackles last year, so great to have him part of his defense. The guy that I think probably gets me the most juice is this guy, Frankie Luvs. This is him right here. He played like defensive line in college, made the transition off-ball player, and I love the instincts that he's playing with. We got man coverage across the board here. We're all manned up here across. And we have a plug player, and the plug player is Frankie Luvs. And so normally you match the 3 receiver side, but watch him with his vision to the quarterback. His eyes are dead on C.J. Stroud right here, and he says, I know C.J.'s not working a 3-by-1. Let me work this way where they're trying to hit Dalton Schultz on this slant. Great athletic play to break this up. And you love the instincts and coverage for a guy that's kind of had his hand in the dirt for most of his career.
Yeah, most definitely. They're showing him, that he studies film. He understood they're not going to the 3 wide receiver side because that's where they think I'm going. All right, they're going to go where they don't think I'm at, and it's going to be the inside man on the 2 wide receiver side.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this is when, again, like there's plays that kind of encapsulate who players are. And so what they're going to do, they're going to run duo here, and then they're going to bring this short motion down. And so anytime you short motion this receiver 10, you remember doing this with Kyle? Where you short motion to crack this safety? You hate that, you said? It's not the most fun thing in the world, right? But basically, he's using it because this double team is going to him. He's basically identified that when they bring this short motion on 2nd and 10, the likelihood of run is very, very high. So watch, right when the receiver stops his feet, he says, I know the play. I know what's happening. I know that when the receiver settles, they're going to snap the football. Let me get in here, penetrate the back. I didn't quite get there, right? Let me get on my horse and work my motor and make that play. Because that's one thing I love about this guy, man, is he is a motor machine, man. He's making all these plays. And Tana, like when you're going against a defensive player like that, it makes it tough.
Makes it very tough. And then you got just watch this guy on film. He played with his hair on fire, man. He's one of those guys that seem like he's always in attack mode. You know what I'm saying? Not catching anything.
And I love that you said attack mode because, like, very rarely do you see plays like this.
My favorite play.
We talked about Bobby Wagner stomping the guard's feet and working the shoulder around and all that stuff. And sometimes, man, the fastest way is through. And I'm going to put my helmet right on your chin. And I don't care if you're 320.
I'm going to kick you out the club.
Throw you into the quarterback. And to me, that's just a mindset.
I love that.
It's just a mindset that speaks to what these guys do.
Just sitting there seeing my kid.
Your son getting treated like that?
Why you did my son like that?
So really excited about these 2 players and Frankie Luvs with that physical mentality that he brings.
And of course you got to be excited about a guy like Frankie Luvs, another undrafted guy, much like our guy London Fletcher. Now, we had a chance to catch up with Frankie Luvs, a part of our new segment, Free Agent Fridays, and we asked him a special Commanders family question.
Give me some of that Luvs.
This is from Stephen Lofton, 8625. How does it feel to be one of the best linebackers the franchise has had since the great London Fletcher. The fans love you, man. They're gonna give you a lot of hype.
Hey, Steve, man, I appreciate the question, man, but to compare me to London Fletcher, man, it's an honor. You know, never in a million days, man, I thought I would be in the position I am today, and even to compare myself or see myself as, you know, the great London Fletcher, man, I'm blessed. You know, hopefully, I can fill up the shoes and hopefully do better. But man, just know you're getting the guy that will show up every Sunday and will play my heart out and pretty much blood, sweat, grind, scratch, everything, you name it. And man, I can't wait for this fan base to blow up, man, because man, we're gonna do something special. And I truly believe in that. We're gonna manifest it and we're gonna bring it to life.
Let's take a look at Luvs' stats from last season with our lucky numbers brought to you by Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today, but please play responsibly. Now, Frankie Luvs proved to be a dominant linebacker in the league last season, racking up 66 solo tackles, 125 combined tackles, and he also found his way after the quarterback. That's right, he had 5.5 sacks with 11 QB hits, and he also found himself in coverage with 5 passes defended. A great addition to our defense. Excited to see what he does. Now, something I know you're all excited for. Just chilling with Santana Moss and Fred Smoot. Fellas, take it away.
It's time for Just Chill, brought to you by Steam Fitters.
Just chill. Steam Fitters. UA Local 602 provides the highest HVAC and mechanical piping services.
Welcome back to another edition of Just Chill. I'm here with my main man, my partner in crime, Fred Smoot. And you know how we do in this segment. We got a couple of tweets from some folks we might know or might not know or might not know how it is.
It don't matter.
One or the other.
Yeah.
We got some tweets that we're gonna read off and we're gonna tell you how we feeling about them. I'm excited to read this first tweet because it's from none other than the sniper himself.
The Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper, Kevin Durant.
All right.
And Kevin say, man, he's loving this pick that we picked up with Austin Eckler.
All right.
You know, and trust me, he's not the only one that's loving it. I thought it was a great pickup. It was great to get other guys to kind of give us some of their feedback. You know how we said, we like it, right?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm loving it.
I love it. At the end of the day, I never go against the Slim Reaper. He's always right. Right? He's always been on our side. Now, this one you gonna love right here. This one you gonna love. First of all, this is this dude's handle. The Iron Man.
Iron Man. Who is that?
The Iron Man. It ain't Tony Stark. We do know this.
Put up the Iron Man.
All right. Please put him up. He says Chef Adam Peters is cooking at Commanders free agent. All right. And he's talking about the Eckler signing. It's our very own Iron Man, London Fletcher. I got 2 words for you, Aaron Hall. Just chill.
All right, I got a tweet here, and it's crazy because I'm on her handle.
Yeah.
So make sure you put this up.
All right.
Good friend of mine. She's been a long time fan of the boy.
All right.
Old Tannerman fan.
All right.
Hillary.
All
She
right,
says
Hillary.
still one of the best free agency acquisitions by the Washington Redskins. Back then it was the Redskins. Now we're talking about the Commanders.
Yep.
And she's talking about your boy. No, Tannerman.
Yeah.
8 to the 9.
So you were voted
Yeah.
the Washington's best free agent signing of all time, right?
Wow.
You were, right?
I don't know.
I'm brushing it off your shoulder. I know it ain't London.
There it
All right,
is.
there it is, baby.
Great seeing you guys talk about free agency. Honestly, I couldn't imagine how live the DMV was when Santana Moss decided to come to the Washington Commanders. Now, we have another guy that made big waves when he became a free agent and decided to come to Washington, but he's on the defensive side of the ball. Fellas, guess who? The Iron Man. That's right. Now, headed into the 2007 season, Washington signed free agent linebacker out of Buffalo, London Fletcher, to a 5-year, $25 million contract. And you know, we can't mention the captain without bringing our guy onto the show to get in on these free agent takes. Welcome in our guy, London Fletcher, to the building. We talking all things free agent, London Fletcher, so we had to bring you in because you know we got some big defensive guys. But first things first, we heard a story about you being a free agent and hanging out with Fred Smoot at a Wizards game when you found out you would be coming to the Washington Commanders, man. Y'all tell us about that.
I'm sure Fred.
No, you started off, Fred, because you tell great stories.
First of all, the real night was the return of Fred Smoot back to Washington. That was the real night. And then here comes Greg Williams telling me we got this linebacker that we need to get. We need to get this guy. So I asked him, I was like, who is it? He was like, it ain't London Fletcher. I was like, is that the same guy that played in the Super Bowl? So I'm waiting on him to walk in. So he walk in, broad shoulder. I thought he'd be a little taller. You know what I'm saying? So he looking at me, we look at each other. So we just started chopping it up and having a lot of fun. And by the end of that game, he was like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be a Washington Commander. And I think they was playing the Celtics. I think they had Paul Pierce at the time, because that's why we was there. And it just was a good time. You know, Coach Gibbs cracking jokes. And Greg felt good about getting London because he felt like that'll be the turnover to start our defense get back on track.
Hey, it's crazy, Fred, because I don't remember who was in the suite. I don't remember who we played. All I remember is how much of a bag they gave me. That was the only thing I was focused on.
They gave you 25 million reasons not to leave here.
Hey, no, I will say this, though. You know, so when we left Redskins Park, we were kind of a ways apart in terms of, you know, a contract, agreeing to a contract. By the time we pulled up to the Verizon Center, they had met my demands, and I was a Washington Redskin.
5 years, $25 million, man. You got the bag. I'm sure everybody was happy with the bag that you got. Now let's talk about some of these free agents that got the bag. We had Frankie Luvs on a little earlier, and we asked him a fan question. The fan said, how does it feel to be the best free agent linebacker we've brought in since London Fletcher? So, man, how does it feel to see those comparisons? And give us a little bit of your insight on Frankie Luvs.
You know what? It feels great to finally have a situation where our fans feel excited about the pieces we've had at the linebacker position. You mentioned Frankie Luvs and also Bobby Wagner, two guys that I'm very familiar with their games. I live here in Charlotte. I've seen Frankie and what type of dynamic player he is. He's an explosive player. You can put him in a bunch of different positions. Great at blitzing. I've seen him just run over guards on some of his blitzes. I mean, explosive player. And Bobby Wagner, he and I, we've actually had a relationship going back several years where he actually reached out to me just to kind of get pick my brains on playing the middle linebacker position and things like that. So we've had several conversations, and then I also got a chance to meet him in person for the first time because beforehand it was conversations on the phone or via text. But I met him when we played the Seahawks out in Seattle this year, and it's crazy how things kind of work and we got him in our building now. And I can't wait to see both those guys dominate in the burgundy and gold.
You know, and folks are kind of have mixed views about Bobby. Some guys saying that he's a little long in the tooth. We getting him much older. You know, I just saw the guy have 100 plus some tackles last year.
Yeah, led the league.
What kind of impact can he bring to us on the field and also in that classroom? You know, here just knowing we have some young guys around him. You know, how vital can he be to this defense?
Well, you know, I look at Bobby. They kind of felt the same way when I signed in Washington. I was 32. I think Bobby will be 30. He's 33 right now.
Yeah.
So when you look at him, he's still an extremely productive player. We mentioned him leading the National Football League in tackles this past season. Had a lot of, and these aren't tackles down the field. He had a bunch of tackles for loss, a bunch of tackles at the line of scrimmage. He's also going to bring leadership to that defense and also to the team. He knows he's been a proven winner, a champion. He has experience with Dan Quinn. He will help set the culture of how they want to practice, how they want to go out and play on Sundays and on game day, but also his professionalism and what he brings to that linebacker core, that linebacker room, that defensive meeting rooms, and also he still can get things done from a production standpoint on the football field.
I want to ask you about your Twitter picture. You know, I just want to ask you the picture you got up there on Twitter. I looked at it. I studied it. I want to know what R&B group were you trying out for? And we actually had a little vote thing where I asked, is he leaning against a wall with his knee up? Because we want to know. Could you tell us, first of all, what group and was your knee up?
Hey, Fred, back in the day, you know I used to moonlight as a model back in the day. So, Logan, I see you shaking. Hey, Logan, I see you shaking your head, man. Dark skinned guys, we're where it's at, man. I was a modern back in my day.
All right, so Fletch, I got a question in terms of like how they've acquired all these free agents, in terms of kind of cultural foundational pieces. What are your thoughts on that in terms of the leadership, toughness, physicality that all these guys seem to be playing with?
Well, you look at, you mentioned from a toughness standpoint and leadership standpoint, they've gotten guys that I mentioned, Bobby Wagner, Frankie Luvs, go to the offensive side, getting a Nick Allegretti. He's a three-time Super Bowl champion. He's been in a winning organization with the Kansas City Chiefs. Biotish, who's going to be the anchor of your offensive line at the center position. Austin Eckler, another, proven player. He's been an outstanding football player. One guy that we haven't mentioned a lot of is Jeremy Chin.
Yes.
He's been a safety. He's been a hybrid linebacker. Great versatility. Great playmaker. I think he'll be a kind of a piece where you can play him on the back end at the safety position, have him in the box, do a lot of things. Maybe you saw, with the Cam Curl last season. If he stays healthy, he's one of the underrated signings that we've had. But you mentioned the toughness. We've definitely added to the toughness and physicality of this football team.
And London Fletcher, great to get your insight on our new members of our Commanders family. But before we let you go, our marching band is looking to add some members to its family and holding auditions in April. Did you know that your boy Fred Smoot used to be in a mariachi band?
I did.
Listen, it doesn't surprise me. With Fred, nothing surprises me.
Well, what we did, London, was we put your boy Fred Smoot to the test. He said he used to be in a mariachi band, so we said, you know what, Fred? Why don't you try to audition for our Commanders marching band in London? Guess what? We got that clip for you, baby. Let's take a look.
I was supposed to play the triangle.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have Fred Smoot here. As you know, he is a Renaissance man that claims he is great at everything. So we are going to allow him to put that to the test and audition for our marching band. But Fred, we got something special for you here, something to make you a little more comfortable.
What's that, bro?
We have a special guest judge that is going to be judging you along with our beautiful marching band, and that is no other than the Logan Paulson. He put on new pants for you and a new shirt. Look at him go. There we go.
Well, here's the thing. The great thing about it is, from my time in the 70s, part of a mariachi band, I think I got some moves that I haven't let the world see right now, so I'm feeling good about my chances
Fred
right now.
Smoot, we gonna let you show the world. Take it away, brother.
What you think about that? Huh? You like it?
I think you got a little bit more. Louder, maybe? Yeah, there we go. That's better. I can hear it now. Yeah.
What you think? All right.
Don't hype him up. Be honest with yourselves here, okay? Be real.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. He needs more. We need more juice. More juice, Fred. Louder and more juice.
Hey, y'all don't understand how loud these things are.
I want to hear it.
How about that?
Spin. Okay, all right. Yep. Now we're getting somewhere. Yes!
What you got? Hey, try to play these things. I'm telling you now, it ain't what you think.
Are they heavy? What's wrong?
No, my hand's just too big.
Too big? Is that a thing? Why are you sweating so bad? How are you supposed to hold these?
Right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right. And then just bang them together? Oh!
Try to walk
What
with
about
it.
that?
Try to walk.
What
Try
about
to
that,
march
Fred?
and do it.
March?
March and do it.
Okay,
Yep.
so here we go.
Right. That way.
Whoa! I'm crushing you, bro.
It's
I'm
harder than
crushing
you
you.
think.
It's not even
harder than you
close.
think,
How
man.
good was that? That had a nice sound to it, nice ring.
So judges, we gotta know now. I need y'all to grade. First this was an audition, but then it became a competition. That's what we like to do for Command Center here. So, who did better? Let's see the judges' scorecards. 2 out of 10, 5.05. Is this out of 10?
That's
For
what I'm
Fred,
talking about.
all right,
She
right in the
plays
middle.
the symbols. She gave me a 5-0. I think it becomes
Is
an
that a
interest.
10?
I think it's out of 10 though, Fred.
Is that a 10?
I think it's out of 10.
Man, that's halfway better than you.
Now, can we get a judgment on Logan Paulson and how he did?
Much better, I would think.
So according to Fred, he used to be in a mariachi band.
I
Logan,
did.
what did you used to do?
Nothing like that.
This is just pure God-given talent
This is just talent.
Huh, interesting.
Oh, dude, look at those suckers, man.
I couldn't do it out. It's too loud.
Let's see what we got for Logan Paulson.
5.1.
4.5 faces at
0
No,
out of
listen,
10.
hey, listen to this sound, though. Listen to this sound. He don't got no sound. Doesn't have the There we go.
I think for the first time ever in Command Center history,
Fred got me?
Fred beat Logan Paulson. Fred, congratulations on your first victory against Logan Paulson.
Thank you.
Man, how you feel about your boy, man?
Man, that was awful. He looked like a reject from Drumline.
Well, you know what? I do got some pictures of you in the church choir playing the triangle.
My question is, why were you sweating? He was nervous, Logan.
I was a little nervous. It was tough. It's tough.
It was, first of all, it was hot in the bubble. Second of all, it's hard to hold those cymbals.
Wasn't that hot?
It wasn't hot.
And then he also showed he didn't know what he was doing because he just go bam.
Oh, man.
Logan get up there and bam.
Fred, what we said, Fred Lips would tell a lie, you were lying about being in the mariachi band.
Well, you know he was lying when he said in the 70s. We both were born in 79.
Fred will clearly say anything.
I think Logan, he could be in a marching band.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fletch. Appreciate that.
No, Logan
man.
actually. No, Logan won. So
He ain't showing you no love. That's not love. They say he looked like a band member.
Those damn voters was lying. They just fans. Logan won that.
They were definitely starstruck with Fred
Logan won
Smoot
that.
and Logan Paulson. Shout out to our marching band, and as you saw, we will be having auditions in April for our marching band. Hopefully, you do better than Fred Smoot and Logan Paulson did. Now, London, before we let you go, the show is over. We will not be back till next week. London, set the tone for us and send us out in the way that only you could.
Well, I just hope I don't set the tone like Fred just set with those two sippers. Hey, listen, we appreciate y'all watching another episode of Command Center. Tune in next week. We're going to have more free agent talk. We're going to talk about the draft, and we might even have Santana doing something different.
I'm gonna watch me ride my bike.
See y'all next week, Commanders family.
Good job, Fletch.
Hey, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Great job.
I like your right. Just threw him on the spot.
Great job, man.
Tonight, Dad came with. He didn't want his little sweet potato to be here without him. But now, he really wishes she was here without him. Next time, he'll just let her roll with her new entourage. And he'll only trust SeatGeek with the tickets. Because when she finds her happy place, he can find his way back to the car. The ticketing app trusted by fans. SeatGeek, so fans can fan.